Hey there, everyone. Shadow here, and welcome back to the Red Planet, aka Surviving Mars. Now, last episode, we were getting our dome set up, and we got our first colonists here. And to say the least, normally you have to go through a 10-day grace period before you will be allowed to call in any more colonists. Now, you can actually void that 10 days by having your first kid born on Mars. So, yeah, we now have our first child that has been born on Mars. And so now we can, they more or less are like, all right, we can, make life on Mars. So obviously we can sustain it. And I got a little bit of technology done. This superconducting computer is probably the best thing that I have researched so far, minus the alien artifacts. Because now every bit of unused power I have goes into tech points. So we are going to try and do a massive extension onto power. And I got some small problems going on currently that I'm trying to work out. Once this ship lands, I'll be a little bit better, but kind of running out of resources and got no machine parts currently, so nothing's getting fixed and having some issues. I also had to redesign some of these domes because like I had a diner and an art workshop here because I found out just because you can live and work in a different dome, I found out that these services don't transfer. Like I had hoped that people would walk their happy little selves from this dome to this dome and eat at this diner or like go to this bar, but it doesn't work that way. Maybe the whole working within a different dome is just actually a glitch, like I was saying, and they might fix it later on. I don't know, but so I took out the electronics workshop and I put in an infirmary, an art workshop, and now I'm going to try and get a research lab over here. This is pretty much where the scientists, the security, and all the other factory people live. And so your service buildings don't interlink between domes. Like I said, so far I've been able to get people to work in this dome and live in this dome and vice versa. So we have those set up. And besides the whole power situation, I had to turn fuel production off because I was losing too much water. Water is going to be another thing we need to try to expand upon. But, yeah, I'm feeling good so far about this. I just need to get these things fixed up. And we need some more people. We're only at 13. But now that they're, having kids, once you start having kids and once you start getting enough colonists, you'll be surprised how many people you start to make. And that's where this whole dome here is going to come into a massive role because you got to be able to feed your peeps. But alright, let's get to work here on getting this shuttle here and this and that. Alright guys, so we just sent off well, I guess I didn't catch it in time, but we just got more colonists and I just sent off the ship. And to say the least, I wanted to go over with you guys the system in which you can control who lives where, and it takes out a lot less of the micromanagement. So obviously we have this research lab here, and now we have all these scientists that I called in, and there's a bar in this area. Now see, the really cool thing about this is you can set up your domes with traits. So, for example, these are all okay. We don't want any geologists living here. And we don't want, or I'll keep that like that for now. And the farmers, we don't want, like, they don't have to live here. These guys, anything that you check off here, they will try and live there. Like, they'll even relocate from other domes if they have to. Like, if that dome didn't have any of these things checked off, like, majority of the people would be living over here. But the coolest thing about this is that, as you can see here, I have a flaw checked off, and I have people that are alcoholic. So, literally, you can set your domes up for like, all right, this dome has a bar, so I want anyone that's an alcoholic to live in this dome. And like you can do this with all the traits, flaws, quirks, and later in the game I know people can get sick and there's even possibility of infection, so you could have like a quarantined dome like way off in the corner, and anybody that would because getting infected is like a trait, so you could literally like quarantine anyone that gets infected. But this takes a lot of the micromanagement of, you know, clicking on people, be like, all right, I want you to live in this dome or work over here, because you can literally set it up to where any of the traits or any of the people, you can like set them to live in that specific dome. Like here I had like all my engineers from over here and this moved over here into this apartment. And then like all the scientists I called in moved into this apartment. And so I now have that. Now you gotta remember though, every type of, when they have specialties, they have like certain demands, which you can only see for whatever reason here when you go to get new people. But like scientists, they want gaming, not so much shopping. Engineers want dining, not so much. So that really doesn't make sense, because if you're out eating, isn't like, what are you eating by yourself? Whatever. Security people want more exercise, less shopping. Geologists want more drinking, not so much relaxation. Farmers want luxury, not so much social. And medics want luxury as well. So pretty much your farmers and your medics, they want the same thing. But yeah, everybody has, you know, in every type of flaw or trait, some of the flaws and traits have things like gamblers want to obviously have a casino in their territory. The alcohol people obviously want a bar. And there's a couple other ones that, like this one, hypochondriacs want a medical building in their service area, and if they can't get to their, like if they can't go get checked out, they'll start freaking out. So yeah, there's a lot of little cool things here that you could do. But you can literally, all those you can sit there and cycle into this. So more or less, you know, you don't have to do so much micromanagement of your people. And I just think it's a really cool concept, because you can set up, you know, on top of setting up domes for specific purposes, you can also set up who you want to live there, what type of people you want to live there. You can actually, if you put the thumbs down, it will actually, like, they're not even allowed in that dome. That's like the whole like infection bit later on, and when things get more serious. But I think it's so cool. Like it adds a little bit more micromanagement, but at the same time it takes away from that micromanagement. But yeah, that's what I got done so far. We're still trying to get a little bit more people. I'd like to get up to about 50 for this episode. And we're still trying to work on power and whatnot, but we now have machine parts being made, not a whole lot daily, but we also have polymer being made. But we need more people. We need to fill in all these unoccupied buildings. There's still a lot of shifts. There's no active research apparently. Oh man, I'm researching that. I could actually build them generators. That's a lot of crap to build a generator though. But yeah, so far I haven't really advanced too much into the tech tree still. I got this one tech here that's smart homes and smart home complex, which kind of seems cool. We'll check that out here shortly. But yeah, and I opened all these up to increase my tech. Like right now I have 1,200 a day, that will research under a day more or less. So I'm finally getting to where some of my tech researches in under a day, but majority of the time it still takes me 2-3 days to research anything. And I'm already out of concrete on this building. This one's got a little bit more. I think it's kind of cool here how like the terrain actually gets changed when you're mining. I've been kind of like trying to work like farther around the edges, like up over here. It's gonna be kind of a problem, but yeah, I don't know if there's like a way to fix the terrain after so long. I just know that I keep running out of concrete. Right now I'm good, but yeah, I keep having to redo these facilities. Alright, let's try and get some more power here and fill in these domes a little bit more. Alright guys, so we have 54 people now, which is, we're doing pretty good so far. I got a little bit farther in the tech tree here. Trying to even out the tech tree, and I got like this really cool thing that you can get out of the physics tab, and that is an atomic accumulator. So essentially it's like the big boy version of the power accumulator. This can only hold 300 power and only does a max output at 20. This thing holds 3,000 and can put out 100. Now the problem I found with this when I first hooked it up to the system is literally that charges slowly bit is no joke, because it sucks all your power. Like, I had to reopen all of these because like the power consumption these things take when charging is absolutely insane. But I mean, they last like forever. So if something major goes down, like you know, these batteries will do for a while. These two batteries will supply for like hours, not probably like hours in real lifetime, like a couple days worth. So yeah, those I'm really digging those. So that will keep this colony up and running for a good while if anything major happens, like these all go down or something breaks or whatever. But we are gonna send this ship off here. That was a supply ship, and we're bringing in some more colonists. I've been trying to keep everything even here. Food's getting a little bit sketchy now. According to this, we're making the same amount of food that we're eating, so we're not gaining any food. And yeah, right now we have a stockpile of concrete, so I'm not worried. Anyhow, back over here, I'm sure you guys have noticed I've done some changes. Now, these are the smart homes here. Get a little fancier home. But these things, when the residents live here, they or when they're resting here, they actually gain more sanity back. And then I got like an art workshop and a food store and whatnot in here, but a lot of these buildings aren't being worked. Now the cool thing with these smart homes is you can put them in they're like the 3 tiles they take up, and you can do them one by one, or you can do the complex. So essentially each house holds 4 and the complex holds 12, so you get a little extra space with the complex. But this way you can kind of just, you know, put them out as is. And this I have set up for like the farmers. Like, only the farmers should live over here. And I think a few non-specialists, like just a couple to fill in, so about 4 non-specialists to do these jobs. And then the rest I can bring in from the other colonies. I just wanted to start getting the farmers actually set up over here, because originally what's it called? The hydroponic farm, now that I think of it, it's okay, but like we don't need that much food actually when you really think about it. So these 4 farms should do perfectly fine. Right now we're not making a whole lot of food. Like, see, the optimal harvest is 14, but to get an optimal harvest of 14, you have to have you have to have all farmers working here. You can't have any non-specialist, or they'll like screw up the building performance, and that drops rapidly. My biggest thing right now is I'd like to get this spire maxed out with people, and right now we have a lot of people everywhere, more or less. Like this one, there's a lot of non-specialists in here. And we have kids. We have like kids galore right now. That's mainly where that pop came from. Is I mean, I've already had 9 graduates from here, and I still got 5 kids. And like both domes are pumping out kids right now. And I don't think this one. Oh, children will be born in this dome. Okay, cool. So all 3 of my domes have the capability of putting out kids. Now, if we go back to earlier, this is like the neatest thing in the system is the trade system. You can do age groups. So I have all my children being funneled into this dome at this nursery because I have the school built here, and I think I have, yeah, no children are allowed in this one, and I need to do the same thing to this dome because I just set that up for the farmers. So now all your children are funneled into a singular dome. Now, sooner or later, I actually got on the tech tree finally under the engineering tab. A medium-sized dome cost a buttload more resources than the small dome, but it's probably, I'm going to assume it's like 2 times bigger, or a little bit bigger than the small dome. So I'm thinking of probably putting the medium dome like over here if I can, because I want to start trying to mine out these resources. So actually, if anything, I'll put it closer. I'll put it right about here. Then I'll take this pipeline, just extend it down this power line, and then pop it over here. But that's going to be my goal, because I still have coverage right here. And then this is worked by the dome. So we'll figure that all out once we get up to a bigger dome. But for right now, I'm feeling good. I need to actually call this passenger shuttle down. And we need to get more. We just need more people. That's all I feel like. I feel like I just need more people. Because we're having a lot of kids born, but they don't have specialties. And I mean, even if I can get these start filling in with like junk people, like the non-specialty people, because sooner or later, once again, if we go back into our tech tree, I'm going to research this university, which literally takes your non-specialists and makes them into that. So, but that's oh cool, got your own printing. 3D machine part. Oh, okay, so you can build the machine factory from here. So the dome's is going to be coming up here shortly. This tech I wanted to get after the printing of the drones, even though I probably won't use the drones yet. I'll keep calling them in from Earth. More or less, my main goal is to get like caught up, because this tech tree I'm like pretty far in. The other ones I wasn't so much. But this next tech bit is all your solar panels, when they're closed, they'll be cleaned of dust. So it kind of reduces how quick you need to maintain them, and that's kind of my big thing. I think that's where majority of my metal's going, is to all the bloody solar panels that I've been using, because these require like click on it, there we go. These require machine parts, which we're making, and polymer and whatnot, but the only thing we're not making is metal. And that's because, for whatever reason, this map hates me, and all the freaking metal deposits are like way out here. I'm sure they're just all, this was my starting area, this one grid here, C6, and metal's all out here. So it's just like, it's driving me nuts. And the only way to mine this is I'd have to get a dome out here to do it. So for right now, we're not going to worry too much about that. I've been sitting there harvesting off of meteors, and then I've been sending this little guy out here, my miner, to dig up from here. Now, there's one thing I wanted to also show you guys, because this guy already broke down once. Your vehicles get covered in dust. Now, unlike your drones, they might just need to update it. Oh my god, the little swarm of drones going to get the food. These guys have dust accumulation, the drones do. Now, your vehicles essentially have the same thing. When they get covered with too much dust, they actually break down. This guy's already had it happen once. There's no meter like the drones, but you can see, obviously, he's getting there. So sooner or later, he'll actually stop working, and you need to go repair him. But yeah, we got 6 more people. We're up to 60 people now. Where all they went, I am not sure. Let's see here. So none of them moved in here. I think majority of them seem to have moved in here. Now, see, sometimes like the management of your people still is kind of real because like we have people doing things that I don't want them doing. It's just I'm kind of hope like their jobs keep getting swapped around when new people move in for whatever reason, but so far we're doing all right with the fact of people keep moving. Like, look, I got another freaking engineer over here, and they could be over here working. And I think everybody's kind of balanced back out now. No, see, they keep. I don't know why they keep doing that. They keep like swapping jobs and whatnot. It's driving me nuts. If anybody knows how to stop your colonists from randomly swapping jobs, you write me down in the comment section below. See, they're trying to keep everything even. Like, I get that. I get the want to try and keep everything even, but you got, yeah. See, they're just gonna keep swapping out. More or less, once I start getting all these freaking people. Like all these, you know, they have no specs. Once I start getting them into the university and start training them, they'll cut the crap of doing so much swapping around because everybody will have a field. Now I don't know how that actually works. Like if you have, because these buildings don't have really any fields, so I don't know if you have somebody. Wait, like, is anybody doing that? In any of my buildings? No, see, this building has so many freaking, like, these guys are working the wrong specialty, but I'm trying to figure out if, I don't know, let me just like, oh, okay, no, so if they have a specialty and they're working in a place that doesn't require a specialty, they don't get a debuff. I thought they did for some reason. So yeah, we need to start we need to get the medium dome up, and we gotta start putting people through the university, because all these people that don't have a clue what they're doing is starting to kill me. So we're gonna have to figure that out. Start getting a lot of the rando has no specialty into some specialties, and that way I could kind of start fixing the fact of. Well, that I got to get it up because I have not got any more farmers. Like, I can't get farmers for whatever freaking reason. Like, legit, I just can't get them. They won't come down with the rocket. Every time I like go to look for one, yeah, see 0 out of 5. I mean, there's 5 in there somewhere, but they're negative traits. So I don't know. We'll figure this all out in time. Alright guys, so we got the medium dome being built. I'm just out of polymer right now, which just needs 5 more, and this is producing polymer, so that'll be done within the next day or two here. And still waiting on fuel for this. Kind of ran through my stockpile of fuel, to say the least. Been having some minor problems here. I had to disable couple of the farms. We're running low on food. We got like 4 food stockpiled. Everything's just kind of like the thing that, like, with this game, to say the least, when it hits the fan, it all hits the fan at once. Like, you run out of power, you run out of water, you run out of food. Like, all of it happens at once. Like right now, my biggest problem is water, food, and power. Now, I've been surviving off the power of the atomic accumulators, and when it's daytime, there's enough power to keep them charged, but like, there's not enough power being made at night. And I've been trying to avoid keeping these open because I'm trying to keep them maintained to where I don't have to keep using polymer for those. I need more wind turbines, so somewhere along the way, I got, like, I'm thinking maybe shoot a line off of this and then, like, just fill this in with some wind turbines right in this area. We also need more water, so I'm probably gonna put an evaporator up there once I get one, and then hopefully we'll be good for a while, because this thing, it's gonna take a lot more water and power than we have. Like oxygen right now is at 6, but it's at 4.7. So when that thing goes up, we'll probably need more oxygen. Total, we definitely gonna need more water. So we're gonna have to do some micromanagement of all basic resources before putting that dome up. And I am up to 74 people here. I am getting some tech that's helping with maintenance, like this helps the dust repulsion or dust repulsion. There we go. Actually keeps your solar panels more clean. They when they're closed at night, they clean themselves off. But I mean, it is like 1% a day. Like it is incredibly small. And we got the utility crops researched, which is look at that. There's even more thing so you can unlock. This tech actually just unlocks the best for your soil, but it takes a lot of water. The cover crops, they so pretty much with that you could do cover crops, then like potatoes, then wheat, and you have 100% soil quality every 3 rotations after a while. This also produces oxygen, by the way. Farms produce oxygen, so this dome itself is producing a little bit of oxygen, more or less. The doesn't take up as much oxygen to provide this dome. I think to a point you could, like, if all these were going, this dome would require no oxygen because it would be making its own oxygen. So, and I don't know if you actually can get to the point that the domes themselves start supplying oxygen. Who knows? You might. That's something we'll have to see down the line here. But yeah, the dome is getting there. I just need to refuel this rocket. I need to fix the water problems, and I have a meteor storm coming in about 16 hours. So you know, it's getting a little clenchy around here, and I don't know about 74 people though. I have 74 people. Food. We're gonna have to call in some more We're gonna have to call in some more resources. And luckily, I'm playing as the U.S., so I keep getting random funding every now and then. But it's getting a little bit crazy right now. Like the power, I'm not too worried about because I can just open these things back up. But it's like just not making enough polymers daily. I'm gonna have to figure that out. Maybe.
Have a water shortage.
Well, here we go again with the water. Damn it! I gotta turn off the pipe valve for the fuel. It only needs 4 more fuel, man. Come on, you're killing me here. Let's say the least, we're gonna figure this out, folks. We're gonna figure out all these problems we're currently having. Like I said, I know if I could at least get the water up here and some more wind turbines and stuff like that, I'd solve a lot of my problems right now. Like, I just have so much going on, like resource-wise. Like, I have so many machine parts. It's stupid. Like, I wish you could sell these things. I wish I could be like, all right, put the machine parts on this thing and go back to Earth and sell them. Like, the only thing you can sell is this stuff here, the rare metals. But alright guys, I think I'm going to call it for this episode. Hopefully in the next one I'll have the dome and whatnot up. But alright guys, hope you guys are enjoying this series, and I'll catch you next time. Have a good one, guys.